You can't hear me there. Can you hear me now? I unmuted my computer microphone. So anyway, just let me know if you can see me and if you can hear me okay. And I'm going to apologize in advance if you hear this knocking sound in the background. It is my freezer. There's something going on with my ice maker and it's just making this knocking sound and I can't seem to fix it. So I apologize for that. Hi, Larry. How are you? Hi, Melba. Hi, Craig. Hi, Dawn. Good morning, John. Hi, Leanne. How is everyone doing? Hi, Colleen. How are you? Hi, Marls. How are you? Hey, Jeff. What are you doing signed in as Jeff? I'm just making sure you're not hacked, hon. um, that's weird to see you as Jeff Long. I'm confused because you're Skyfocal usually on YouTube. Anyway, okay. Hi, George. How are you? Oh, thank you, Lan. I don't feel very pretty, and I'll tell you about that in just a minute. I feel like my head could hit this keyboard and I could be asleep in about 2 seconds. And I'll tell you about that in just a minute. Hi, Charlene. How are you? All right. Jeff says it's him, so I guess it's him. All right. And I guess you can hear me since people are Jeff answered me. I guess he can hear me. So, okay. All right. Hi, Crystal. Yes, I bet it has been a rough couple of weeks, and I hope you're feeling okay. And the nausea goes away soon. Hey, Brittany, how's the baby? Um, John says overdoing things again, Louise. Well, I didn't have any choice. So anyway, this is what happened. Okay. Brittany, did I go more blonde? No, but I think it's the color in this house. So I'm at home now, guys. So this is my house. In case you haven't been here for a live, this is my living room behind me, a pool table that we never use. And then I'm sitting at the dining room table. So usually I go live from work, and then you see the other background. So I think it's the coloring in here, which is kind of weird. It might even be changing. It's like if I get closer to the computer, it's like a little yellow. And then if I get further away, it's like a little gray. The walls are grayish color. Anyway, okay, so Colleen, the freezer knocking might be the evaporator fan. Well, that would make sense of why my ice maker stops working and then probably like maybe thaws enough or something. I don't know how it thaws though with the freezer on, but anyway. And then it'll start making ice again. And this is the in-between stage. So this knocking sound is actually like a good thing. It means I can expect some ice to be made. This is an old refrigerator. We haven't fixed it. Hi, Sharon. How are you? Oh, so Brittany, to finish, I did not go more blonde, but I am tomorrow. And I'm going to tell you about that in a minute too. Not tomorrow, the next day. So yeah, I've done some things. Okay. So hi, Terry. How are you? All right. So first of all, let me tell you why I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted because I had to cut the grass today. And I love cutting the grass. And it's really, I mean, you can laugh at me if you want because I cut the grass sitting on a tractor. What's exhausting about that? It was freezing. I was in, and I'm not even kidding, 2 pairs of pants and a parka with the hood up, with it like strapped all around. Like it was so cold. It's like something happened between yesterday and today, and all of a sudden it just went cold. And I had to cut the grass. Like I don't have any choice, right? The grass it needs to be cut. This is the last cut of the year. And we live on 16 acres. So it's 8 acres of grass to cut. The other 8 are woods. So 8 acres of grass to cut, even on the rotting lawnmower, it takes all day. I was freezing all day long. And so I do have like a little coffee drink that's warming me up. My chocolate melted all the way to the bottom, but that's helping some. But if you've been out in cold and you're not used to it, because it's been very warm here in Tennessee, and you're not used to it, and you've been out all day, just kind of like if you're out in the sun all day, you just feel like exhausted. All right. So the next thing that I did, this is a funny story, and then we can get on to the Q&A, okay? Because this is not supposed to be about me. It's supposed to be about you guys, but I have to cancel Tasty Tuesday next week, and I wanted to tell you why. So Jeff and I, our anniversary is on Friday, the 18th of October. Jeff has worked every single anniversary since we moved to Tennessee. So 5 years he has worked. This is the first time he's off work that I can remember anyway. So it was just like the other day. I mean, literally the other day. I was like, "Oh, you're off for our anniversary. Do you want to do anything?" And he's like, "Yeah, let me think about it and I'll look into a few things." I'm like, "All right, I'll look into a few things too." He goes back to his office, comes back out, I don't know, about 15, 20 minutes later. He says, "Oh, Drew Holcomb is playing in Memphis. Do you want to go to the concert?" And we love Drew Holcomb, okay? And we live near Memphis, so that would be really easy. I said, "Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds good." But I was sort of planning a trip to Mexico. And he was like, "Oh, okay." So anyway, so we're going to Mexico on Friday for a little quick 5-night trip, spur of the moment. So we will be gone. We'll be in Mexico on Tuesday. So I have to cancel Tasty Tuesday. Now, depending on how the internet is and how everything goes, I might go live for a minute just to show you guys around the resort or something. But yeah, so we're going to Mexico. So I had to cut the grass. I didn't have any choice because I'm writing my post for Sunday tomorrow. I had to cut the grass today, write the post tomorrow, get everything ready for Sunday for my recipe to come out because I'm not going to stop doing that. And then I go to get my hair done on Thursday, and then we leave, and our plane leaves at like 5 a.m. and the airport is 2 hours away. So it's going to be fun, but it's going to be busy. And so that's my story. So I'm exhausted, but I don't think I'm overdoing it, John. I'm just preparing, right? I mean, you got to water all the plants before you go away. You've got to clean the house. You've got to strip the beds. There's a whole bunch of stuff, that we have to do before we go away. Make sure we use up all the food or, get rid of it or freeze it or whatever. Okay, that's it. So done about me. Let's talk about you guys. What's going on and what kind of questions do you have? All right, I'm going to scroll down a little bit here. And if I missed anybody in saying hi, I apologize, but I think I did get everybody. Hi, Jen. How are you? Dawn says it's very cold there, 30. Well, Jeff, I'm acting like it was I look outside like it's 20 below zero. I'm not even kidding. And I said, Jeff, I don't know. It must be like something below zero. He's like, it's 46, Louise. It's 46. Or it might have even been 56. 50, it wasn't 56, I don't think. But anyway, even 46, that's not like too cold. 30 is cold. That is cold. Oh, thank you, Crystal, for thinking of me. And I have a kind of like a coffee and pumpkin drink here. So I'm enjoying that. But please don't worry about me. Take care of yourself, and hopefully your nausea will subside. Okay. Oh my gosh. I got to put this up. Brittany, 103 in Arizona. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah. I don't want to go that hot. I don't want to go that hot, although it's very dry in Arizona. So it doesn't even feel like it's that hot, but okay. Jane saying in Wisconsin, there are freeze warnings. Did everyone notice that it just happened like that? Like the other day, it was so warm. I was like, "Oh, are we have an Indian summer? Like, what's going on? It's so warm. Are we ever going to get cold weather?" And then boom, it came. Okay. So let's see. Colleen, I have a actual Ninja website story. I imagine some of your listeners and you may have received the same email with the subject line 15 off site-wide. It is not true. Tried using, no go. Interesting. I did get that, but I didn't look into it because there's nothing I really want right now. So, and I don't usually buy direct through Ninja anyway, just because I used to be able to find better deals at Kohl's. That is a thing of the past. So now I don't know what I'm going to do if I need another appliance. But for now, I'm good. Somebody asked me if I was going to test out and do a review on that new air fryer thing that's got like glass, and I don't know. It's a strange looking contraption. And I don't have any plans to buy that right now. I need another air fryer. Like I need a hole in the head. And I'm still trying to master the Ninja Combi so that I can do more videos on that and show people how to use that. And then the Ninja Possible Pro Cooker, I'm trying to master that because on the surface, it's a crock pot, right? On a surface, it's a slow cooker, except for it's not, right? There's like these little nuances about it, and it's very strange and it's confusing people. And it's very difficult to write recipes for because they're not working the same. And if you can't get consistency in a recipe, you don't have a recipe, right? You have something you made for dinner. You don't have a recipe. You have to have consistency. So while I can achieve consistency testing the recipe out, like for example, fudge, I thought I'm going to make this easy fudge in the Ninja Possible Pro Cooker. It's going to be so easy. Nobody even needs a thermometer. You're going to go by timing only, right? And I've tested the recipe about 15 times already. First, I had to adjust the ingredients so they weren't too sweet and they were, it was a good chocolate fudge. Then I had to make sure I got the timings nailed down so I could say, look, you press this button, you wait this long, don't stir until this time, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And it's old-fashioned fudge, so it's no joke. It's all about temperatures, but I know people get freaked out about that, so I just want them to have times, right? So I get it nailed down. It's like perfect. I have a friend of mine, Amber, who you guys may have seen in groups or seen, around, and she tests some of my recipes for me. And I said, okay, I need you to test this recipe for me. And she, like, within minutes of starting the recipe, she's like, well, I don't understand. You say let it go through the preheat. My Ninja Possible Pro Cooker doesn't preheat. I'm like, what? What do you mean it doesn't preheat? On sear saute. She's like, no, it doesn't preheat. It goes right into the cook time. I'm like, okay, so this is weird. Is mine wrong or is yours wrong? Anyway, to make a long story longer, because I'm known for that, it turns out she has a faulty base. And so they had to send her a new base. Now hers does the preheat. But I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I can't put a recipe out for that. Now I've got to test it without preheat, or at least tell people what to do without preheat. And dumb me forgot to have her like time that part or repeat that part before they made her cut the cord. So I don't know. It's the Ninja Possible Pro Cooker is challenging because it's inconsistent, and that is a problem. Okay. Hi, Jolene. How are you? Well, happy birthday. I will be home from Mexico 11 days after our anniversary. So I'll be home for your birthday. So happy birthday. All right, let's see. Hi, Louise Cohen. It is not very often that I meet another person with my name. So hi, good to see you. I'm glad you could join live. I think it's kind of late there, isn't it? For John in Australia, it's morning time. For George in Scotland, it's like middle of the night, I think. And UK, I think, is somewhere late night, but not as late as Scotland, I think. And Marl says the food will be amazing in Mexico, I bet. It is a resort. It is an all-inclusive resort. It is, I think the food's pretty good. I'm kind of picky about that. We have not been to this one, but we've been to the sister resort, which is right next door. We've been there and the food is pretty good. The brand is pretty good. It's Excellence brand and it's pretty good. We've been to Punta Cana. We've been to the Finest, which is the sister one. And now we're going to the other one. So yeah, the food's good, but it's not like you're going to, a little hole in the wall in Mexico and getting something really authentic. It's definitely made for tourists, right? But it's still good. It's still good. Thank you, Lisa. We hope to have fun. This is not something we planned, obviously. Happy anniversary, Colleen. But sometimes you just got to go and do it, right? All right. Bonnie, yes, I agree with that so much. So do it while we can, because we just are not guaranteed tomorrow. We do not know what's going to happen with health or anything else. We just don't know. My dad and mom, they worked their entire life and they had plans to travel when dad retired. He was a police officer. She was a school teacher. And they had so many plans, right? But he died at 50 of cancer. So it's hard to believe that I'm older than my dad was when he passed away. So we just don't know. And I've kind of always lived my life that way. Like I'm going, I'm doing, we're going to have fun. But we wouldn't have done this one because we're planning a huge trip to Australia in March. So we would not have done this one at all. Okay, yeah, let's get to some good questions. Let's get to some questions, right? That's what the Q&A is all about, is you guys asking questions. And if I can answer them, I will. We have some wonderful people also in the chat that answers questions. So Leanne is asking, do you have any cookware that you really like if you have to do stovetop or oven cooking? I do, okay? And it is something like, I like the Ninja cookware, don't get me wrong. Now, I've had it for about 4 or 5 years. I am starting to notice it peeling now. And yes, I put it in the dishwasher. Yes, I use metal utensils. You're supposed to be able to, right? But it is peeling from use, I guess. But I was gifted for my wedding an all-clad piece of, I don't remember if it was the saucepan or if it was the frying pan or what it was, but I was gifted this. I probably at the time would have never paid the money for it. But let me just tell you, 16 years later and lots of abuse and putting it in the dishwasher, there's nothing wrong. It works perfectly fine. So I don't know of any nonstick that have never needed to be replaced, but the all-clad stainless steel has never had to replace it 16 years later. So, and I won't have to ever replace it. So that's one thing that I encourage people to do is, instead of getting a set of cookware, I recommend getting a few really good pieces. So a few all clad, or I have heard good things about hex clad, but I don't have them. I do believe that's like a dual type of surface. So it is supposed to be nonstick, but I don't have them. So I can't really speak to how they work. I do have a Pampered Chef nonstick that is done fine, but I don't use it that much. So I don't really want to say, oh, it's better than Ninja or anything, because I don't think I used it as much as I used the Ninja one. So I don't know how long that's going to last. Now I'm going to retire my little tiny frying pan from Ninja because it's peeled, and I'm going to go to the Pampered Chef one. So catch me in 5 years. I'll be able to tell you if Pampered Chef outlived the Ninja one. So nonstick, I don't really know, but all clad, hands down, you can't beat it. It's awesome. And I think I got the professional version. Again, I was gifted it, so don't really remember. I could look it up though. If you go down if you want to buy all clad, there's a lot of different kinds. So if you want to know what kind I have specifically, Leanne, just reach out to me and I'll research it a little bit more for you. Okay, so Janice, looking for a new foodie. I'm not seeing many options, suggestions. Yes, I'm going to put a link right now because they're very hard to find. But QVC has a deal going on. And I don't know if it's still going on. So I'm going to look here. And and I've never ordered from QVC before ever in my life. But I ordered one because it was something I just couldn't even pass up. And it looks like it still is. I'm going to give you guys my affiliate link. I hope you don't mind. Maybe I'm not, because I don't have it connected for some reason. And if anyone purchases it, I do get a small commission, but it is very small and it doesn't cost you anything. Let me see. Maybe I can, maybe I can't get a link here. I don't know if I can or can't. If I can't in like a minute, then I will just get the regular link for you, because I can do that. I don't know what's going on. No, it doesn't look like I can sign in for some reason. Interesting. Oh, nope. Oh, yes, I am in now. Okay. Save and copy. All right. So this is the one lid model, which are very hard to find. And it is the 6.5 quart though, not the 8 quart. Oops. I'm not very good at this, apparently. Okay. I have to do a disclosure. Affiliate link. I have to let you guys know that that is what that is. And then I can hit enter, and it should post to Facebook Oh, Jeff's saying it was 54 degrees today. He's laughing at me. Okay, so Janice, that is the best deal ever. It's like $103. It is the one lid and it is 6.5 quart. So if that's not what you want, then it's not a great deal, right? I mean, obviously, but they are hard to find, even the 2 lids now. It used to be that you could find the 2 lids, but now it's kind of moving to all refurbished. And I guess they're not bringing them back. I don't know. I'm so upset about it, really. I mean, I just think they have such to me, near perfect appliance. And then they don't bring it back. Ah, so sad. So George says, wait, what? No Tasty Tuesday disaster comedy show next week? No, not next week. Nope, not next week. That's so funny. It was. What did we do? Oh, last week. Well, last week we had crazy internet stuff. And then I made that Canadian dish. Oh, by the way, was yesterday the Canadian Thanksgiving? I missed it again. I was even reminded on Sunday. Or is it today? Oh my gosh. Anyway, happy Canadian Thanksgiving to everybody in Canada. But I made this Canadian dish, Canadian meat pie, and it turned out fine, except the bottom crust wasn't very good. But we had some other disasters. So yeah, it is a comedy show sometimes. Okay. Oh my gosh. So John's saying it was 87 degrees Fahrenheit in Australia. That's hot. That's hot. Okay. Crystal wants to know what the recipe is for my drink. This is hazelnut coffee with a little splash of vodka, a little splash of like a pumpkin liqueur, and that's it. A little sweetener, and then a little chocolate. And the pumpkin liqueur is kind of creamy, so that's why it looks like there's milk in it. Okay. All right. Colleen said she was in Georgia. It was cold. And Colleen saying she wanted to get the Pro cooker. I don't know what that. Oh, the Possible Pro cooker. I think you can get a better deal at Sam's Club, honestly. I think they're on sale, like really deeply discounted, I think. Maybe because they're so inconsistent, you don't know if you're going to get a good one or a bad one. Hey, Joni, how are you? Lisa says it's 41 degrees in Pennsylvania. Yeah, I think Jeff says it was 56 or something. Yeah, I don't think so. Anyway, that's what he says. Jolene, do you recommend the Possible Pro? I want to replace my crock pot. Okay, so do I recommend the Possible Pro cooker? I do and I don't. I recommend it if you go into it knowing what you're getting, okay? It's not going to bake bread. It's not a baking appliance, even though there's a bake function. It's not designed to replace your oven or anything like that. There's not going to be any browning on top of things, because there's no heating element up at the top. It's just a glass lid. If you understand that it is almost like a fast cooker and not a slow cooker, it cooks fast. To give you an idea, it's something that takes 3 hours on, I think it was high on the Possible Pro cooker. It takes 5 in the Ninja Foodi. So it might take 4 in another brand. Okay. So it is fast. So if you are okay with that and you're okay with making those changes in recipes, then you're going to love it. It's a nice size pot. I love that you can sear in it. You can saute in it. You can sous vide in it. All those functions work great. Slow cook works great. High is hot, hot, hot. Low is pretty decent, probably more like high on the Ninja Foodi, which I love the slow cooker version of, or the function on the Ninja Foodi too. Absolutely love it. But I understand how it works. So I know how to allot time, for recipes. What else can you do with it? Well, you can make delicious fudge. I mean, really good fudge in there. It's just a nice size. It's nonstick. I have no complaints about it as long as you know what you're buying, because unfortunately, the way it's been marketed, a lot of people, there's a proof function for bread and there's a bake function. And I don't know if Ninja specifically said you can bake bread in it. maybe they did. I don't know. I don't watch the infomercials or anything, so I'm not really sure. But for some reason, everybody thinks you can bake bread in it. And yeah, I mean, technically you can. It's heat's transferring to the dough. It's just, are you going to like the bread? Maybe, maybe not. So it's going to be completely pale, right? Especially on the top. You can't bake the bread directly in the bottom either. Like I tried to do dinner rolls because I was thinking, well, if you're in a hurry and you want this to be done quick and you want to proof and just bake it, you don't want to use your oven. What do you care that they're not brown on top? Maybe not. Let me just see how it goes. Oh, completely burned on the bottom because it's so hot down there. And then completely just pale, almost looks like raw dough, but they were cooked fully and they were tasty. I mean, they tasted like dinner rolls. I mean, but they just don't have that browning, that beautiful browning. Okay, let's see. Oh, Colleen, yes, okay. I forgot about that. I don't well, I don't think I followed your recipe. In fact, I know I didn't because I found it in my aunt's box, but it's nothing secret. It is, oh my gosh, who's the fudge maker? Oh my gosh, like, why am I going blank? Is it Nestle maybe? Anyway, it's just the basic cocoa fudge, okay? It's basic, but I've changed it up a little bit because it was too sweet the way that it was. So I've changed it up a little bit, but it's that same basic recipe. It's like 2/3 cup milk or maybe 2/3 cocoa powder, 1.5 cups milk, some salt and some vanilla, which I think I added. I'm just using 2 different kinds of cocoa powder to give a balance of sweetness. Oh, and then 3 cups of sugar, right? So got a lot of sugar in it. So it's just a traditional old-fashioned fudge, which can be quite temperamental. What I still am not quite haven't perfected is when to start beating the fudge, really. And the Possible Pro Cooker is a little cumbersome to beat the fudge in, but anyway, I'm working it out. We'll see. Who knows? It might end up being done in the Ninja Foodi because I tested it in the Ninja Foodi the other day and the pot was easier for me to handle. So I may do the video in the Ninja Foodi and give instructions for the Possible Pro Cooker too. Okay. All right. Brittany wants to know, how do we feel about the flavor rum raisin? Is it seasonal to you or any time of the year? I'm thinking rum raisin ice cream, bread pudding, and truffles. Okay. I'm not your girl for this one. I do not like anything rum raisin. I don't like alcohol in my food. I know I'm weird, as weird can be, but like, no. Alcohol is in my glass and food is on my plate. I mean, I'll cook with wine, don't get me wrong. But like a rum cake, no, not for me. And rum raisin, not for me. So I can't really tell you what it is because I wouldn't eat it any season of any year. I wouldn't eat it. But people love it. So I'm sure that you can find other people that will support you on this one, Brittany. All right. All right. George says, I watched a review of the Ninja Crispy yesterday. I didn't see the point of it, but I could see how it might be useful for use in a trailer or similar. That's what I was kind of thinking. I mean, it's kind of cool if you're traveling. I don't want to pass judgment though on it because I can look at that appliance and say, nah, that's not for me. I looked at the Ninja Foodi and said, nah, that's not for me. Mm-mm. And look at it. It is for me. And I would have never tried it out if someone didn't push me to try it out because I was like, I don't even pressure cook that much. I don't air fry. I'm a stove oven cook. What do I need this contraption for? So I don't really want to pass judgment on it because it might be the coolest thing in the world. I'm just personally not going to buy it right now. I'm already oversaturated with appliances and things that I want to test out and master, and I just can't jump to another one just because Ninja put it out. So hopefully there will be some creators out there that do some great recipes with it and learn all about it. But I'm still trying to get up to speed, like I said, on the Ninja Combi and the Possible Pro Cooker. I mean, it takes a long time to really get up to speed on things. All right, let's keep going here. Oh, isn't that sweet? The best people are called Louise. Yes, Louise. That's great. All right, let's see. I'm just going to keep going down until I can see. So Colleen also loves the all clad. Yes, it is really great. Hi, Robin. Good to see you. Hi, Isabel. Oh, Colleen is saying, yes, you're right. They're hard to live. They have the 8-quart 2 lid, but it's $249. That's crazy. No, I wouldn't pay that either. I wouldn't pay that either. That's insane. That's crazy. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So yeah, if you're okay with the 1 lid, jump on that link. It's $103.99. Sometimes they have free shipping. They did the other day. My other day is probably last week. Jane V says, I brought the 1 lid through QVCs and I'm having issue with pressure cooking. Is there a trick to using the float on this one? My 2 lid started giving the pot notice, so I bit the bullet. I would have to know what issues you're having with pressure cooking. And is there a trick using the float on this one? Well, I can say that it looks like you would put it up on the ledge, but it sits down in the little gully, little area. I'm calling it a gully. The little indent, it kind of floats around in there. That's sort of the same as the other one, but I'm trying to think. I guess it is a little bit more pronounced in the way that the arrow points. It looks like you would put it all the way over, but you don't. It sits in this little thing. But Jane, I'm happy to help you out. If you want to email me and send me some pictures, I can send you pictures back of the placement of it. Or if you have my Ninja Foodi course, I go through all the 1 lid. So I added all those videos of how to use the 1 lid, how to set it up, blah, 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 how to take the silicone ring in and out, because it is a little bit harder, especially at first. All right. Craig says, yes, Monday was Thanksgiving in Canada, so I did miss it again. And I told myself on Sunday when I looked it up, because I thought I missed it then, that I would remember, and I didn't. I apologize to my friends in Canada, especially, Kelly. I don't know why. I'm going to have to ask Jeff if he remembered to wish Kelly happy Thanksgiving. I don't think we did. We're bad friends. All right, let's see. Okay, Michelle is saying maybe connect up with Andy Cooks in Australia. I don't know who that is, but I'm hooking up with John Cooks. John. So yeah, I don't know who Andy Cooks is. I'm not even sure. Yeah, I don't know who it is. But anyway, I'm gonna be seeing John when we go, and that's gonna be really exciting. But it's 5 weeks we're gonna be in Australia, so I'm not gonna be bothering John the whole time. We're gonna be going around, and Jeff is gonna film everything. We haven't decided yet where I'm going to post these things or where he's going to post them. We have an Avoiding Highways YouTube channel that we don't do anything with, but we've had it for a while. And I don't know whether we're going to put them on there or whether we're going to put them on the Salted Pepper. For people who don't want to watch them, I don't want to feel like I'm now a travel blogger, because I'm not. I'm a food blogger, but I don't know. I haven't decided yet where we're going to put them, but we are going to be documenting a lot of stuff. So our plan is to take you guys with us to Australia for 5 weeks, and we are doing a lot of stuff. I mean, it's going to be fun. Lots of fun. We are packing it in on this trip. But as John says, we are also allowing time for rest and relaxation in between each little leg of the trip. So all right. Robin says, I love making soup in the Possible Pro Cooker because of the large pot, and it's great for cooking bacon. No splash of grease all over the stove. Oh, that's a good point. I haven't tried the bacon in it yet because I use the Foodi or the Combi for that. And Craig says he cooked a turkey for Thanksgiving and had some leftovers on Monday. Oh, so you cooked it on Sunday. Yeah, that makes sense. Hi, Kolb George. I know I'm not saying that right. I apologize. Hi from Sweden. All right. And Leanne is saying, I really like my green pan slow cooker. I'm not sure. I guess that's a brand. All right. Jolie says, when we were in MI, Michigan, right? Did you try any Mackinac fudge? No, I didn't. I guess I'm gonna have to look that up and see what that is. And John loves rum and raisin ice cream. Yes, I know a lot of people really do. And Kathy's saying that she bakes bread in her Ninja Possible Pro all the time, but it won't brown the top. Right. And I should back up about that and say quick breads are different from yeast breads. So I mean, you can do both in there. It will cook them, but it will not brown them. Now, sometimes with like a banana bread, which is a quick bread, it may not matter, right? And you can do it. And I think everybody that I've seen post in the group about it says you definitely want to have it in a pan and raised above like the bottom of the pot. It's not like something you would pour the batter right in. It just seems to cook like it'll burn the bottom, basically. All right, let's see. Well, John's saying that Baz and him will have to eat it all before we get here. That's the rum raisin. Yes, eat that all up, but save me a piece of that lemon meringue pie that you made. Man, was that beautiful. John made a lemon meringue pie the other day and he sent me a picture of it. It was literally magazine gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. Lisa says she loves her air fryer. You know what's funny about air fryers is when somebody asked me if I wanted to get an air fryer, and I'm going back years and years and years. I think even before I started my website, which would have been prior to 2015. But no, it couldn't have been because I had known Jeff. So it had to have been, when did I meet Jeff? Oh, I met Jeff. And when did we meet? Well, I guess I could do the math. Anyway, it's not important to the story. Somebody asked me if I wanted to get an air fryer. I was like, no, that's just a convection oven. Like I have convection on my oven. Thanks. I'm good. I don't need these newfangled things. It's, ridiculous. Waste of money. I was so wrong. I was so wrong about that because there's no comparison, in my opinion, between a smaller air fryer, even the Ninja Foodi, and even some slightly bigger ones. When you get too big, you lose the power of the air fryer, which is basically very concentrated heat with good airflow, right? But there's no comparison between that and the oven, just none. I have air fry on my oven now, and there's no comparison between the two because in order to be like an air fryer, so to speak, you really need to have that concentrated space. That's why they tend to be smaller. So George, it's almost going. Okay. So George, I've been saying I will get this recipe out and it's coming. It's coming. So this is what's happening with that. I test my recipes quite a lot, right? Do you know how expensive filet is? Oh, really expensive. And getting the timing down, getting the puff pastry correct. I'm not making it. Well, I am making it, but I'm going to do the recipe with bought puff pastry because I think most people will buy it and not make it. But so I'm going to test the recipe with bought, but then I think I'm going to do a recipe for making it yourself if you want to. Anyway, so I've been practicing this silly word, but I have been sous videing sirloin, like little sirloin tender or a regular sirloin steak, because it's lean like the filet, but of course it's not nearly as tender, right? But when you sous vide it, it tenderizes a lot. Like it becomes almost like a filet, in my opinion. But I'm going with timing differences here and temperature differences and stuff. So I'm still getting that dialed in to where I think it's perfect. Now you can always do the filet and you can always not sous vide. And I have to make sure I incorporate that into the recipe too. So it's a process, right? It's a process. The rest of the recipe should be fairly easy once I get these little things dialed in. So it is coming. It is definitely coming. I think I have it on for after Thanksgiving, our Thanksgiving in November. And I think it's like geared towards Christmas recipe. Because I think people will make it at Christmas Eve, maybe. They might make it Valentine's Day, things like that. Okay, great, Jane. Jane has the course, so she can check that out. Yes, definitely do that. And then if you have any questions, you can always email me, okay? Hey, Aaron, how are you? And John's saying the 8-quart one lid is $300 US there. Yeah, I know, it's outrageous. All right, let's see. So the FT301 is a 6.5 quart pressure cooker. They don't have a 4-quart, April, just to clarify that. Okay, that is weird. So you're saying that the slow cooker function doesn't work. It's 8 hours. Okay. Let's talk about this a little bit, okay? Because I hope I can explain this correctly in order to get people to understand like the differences that they're experiencing with slow cooking. Okay, slow cooking on low, and I'm going to only talk about the Ninja Foodi right now because that's what the kind of the problem is about that we have on the screen. So the Ninja Foodi is a very slow cooker. It's a slow cooker. It's a turtle cooker, okay? And I don't mean literal turtles. I mean it's slow. But it does work. However, when you're talking about something like beef stew, viscosity of liquid matters. That's how heat is transferred. So when heat is transferred from the pot, from the heating element underneath, it radiates up through the pot. There's not heating coils in the side or anything, but there aren't really in most crock pots either. Although I think there might be in the Possible Pro Cooker. Again, we're going to talk about the Foodi. Louise, stay focused. So the heat from the bottom heating element heats the pot. Then it heats around the pot. That heat is then transferred to your food. If you put in thin liquid or liquid, like even a broccoli soup or something like that, or a brothy soup, low is going to be beautiful. It's going to work fine, right? Because you can have that heat transfer. But when you have something thick, think about when you have it on the stove and it's on the stove, and if you turn your heat up, you might have a boil over, and that is because the steam is building at the base, and then the steam has to kind of get through this thicker liquid. Well, it also impedes the heat transfer, so it tends to be with thicker things that low is not necessarily the best option. And I also found that with the Ninja Foodi, with things that you want to break down the connective tissue, low is not the best option. I would definitely go on high. Now, am I saying that you're wrong and your slow cooker function doesn't work? I'm absolutely not saying that. You could definitely have a defective unit, that's for sure. But it's hard to answer your question. It does the Ninja pressure cooker on the 8-quart or the 6.5 quart that's on clearance from QVC work better? They work the same for me for my 2-lid model, which I have the FD, I think 305. They work the same. So it should work for you. Both of them should work. So, April, why don't you reach out to me in an email, louise@thesaltedpepper.com, so we can talk more about what you've tried to make in it. So maybe I can help determine whether or not it's actually not working, or is it just the things that you're putting in it should probably be done on high. That would probably be the best. So I know specifically, and that way, if it's really not working, then you're going to be very pleased with the working model. But if it is working and you're not happy with it, you're not going to be happy with the other model either. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Let's see. Lisa says she got a bread maker and she hasn't used it yet. Yeah, I've never been a fan of the bread makers, only because, and it's the only reason, because they work fine, because the hole in the middle of the bread. I've never liked that. I think the newer ones, I'm dating myself now, that when they first came out years and years and years ago, I think I was still living at home. My mom used one all the time, and there was always a hole in the bread. And I'm like, I don't want a hole in the bread. Like, I want an intact bread. So I don't use them, but they do work well. Hey, Barbara, how are you? Welcome. I'm sorry, my nose is itching. It happens all the time, though. Every time I'm live, it happens. It's ridiculous. Colleen says, I've really been doing a lot with my countertop oven in the past few months. Do you have the Ninja one, or do you have a different countertop oven? I've just been using the Combi because I'm trying to get to know it, so to speak. We did not, Jolene. We did not. And that was a long time ago. That was, I forgot when we went on our little, I call it the world tour. We went everywhere. I mean, we went to Maryland and up, and we met so many people. It was awesome. Hi, Doyla. How are you? That's so funny. George says, yes, I know how expensive it is. That's why I'm hoping you do it. Right, right. Let me get it all perfected. Well, I'm working on it. But even, the cost isn't even that much of a big deal because it's a tax write-off for me, right? I can go buy a big filet or individual steaks and it's a business expense for me, right? The issue is it's hard to find good ones. And I have bought a whole tenderloin, and cut them myself, but I tend to cut them thicker. You don't really need that thick of a piece for if you're doing an individual beef tenderloin. Now, do I want to do a whole? Oh, I didn't even ask you that, George. I'm assuming I'm doing individual beef tenderloins. Is that what you want me to do, or do you want me to do a whole tenderloin roast? I didn't even think about that. Oh, that's a good point. I could do tenderloin for two. I didn't even think about that. Let me know, George, because this one's for you. This one's for you, definitely. So I'll do it the way you want me to do it, and it'll be beautiful either way, if you want individual or a roast. Okay, let's see. Oh, Colleen's saying that beef Wellington's on our Christmas dinner menu. Hope you get that recipe out by then. I hope so. I should. There shouldn't be any issues. I've made beef Wellington a million times, and I made it in the air fryer too. And I've done it a lot, so I kind of know. I've learned some tricks along the way, but anyway, yeah, I should have it done. Now I just need to know whether I'm doing a whole one or an individual one. All right. Oh, George, it's beautiful in an air fryer. It's beautiful. It works out so great. Um, okay, Colleen's saying she has the Oster XL countertop, fabulous French doors. I do like those French doors. Somebody told me when I was doing the studio kitchen that I should have gotten French doors. I can't remember. It might have been John. And they just don't have them around here like that. But that would have been nice because my door for my oven is so ridiculous. I have to step way back and it's just ridiculous. Because of where it is for filming. It's just ridiculous. But we make it work. And Jolene says, I only use my bread maker for the hard work of mixing the dough and proofing. Yeah, yep. That works fine. Hey, Barb, how are you? Welcome. Okay. I will be doing individual ones. Good. That's what I've been. Oh, Colleen's saying I'm doing individual ones. George hasn't. I thought this was George telling me, yeah, I'm good with individual ones because that's what I've been testing. So hopefully, but if not, I'll just move on and I'll just do a roast. It's fine. Either way. Okay. Sorry about that. It happens all the time. How do I mute? I'm going to mute myself. And we're back. So that was pretty good. Okay. All right. A cut of the filet. And George, remind me, you don't have sous vide, do you? On any of your appliances, or do you have a sous vide machine? Because obviously I'm writing this recipe for you. I'm going to put it out for everybody, but I'm writing it for you. So you better be able to make it, right? I better make sure you can make it with what you have on hand. Okay, Colleen says I pretty much make loaf breads in a Dutch oven in the oven, and they always come out fabulous. I have not been making. I've never been a Dutch oven person. And the reason being is that, and for bread or for anything else, I mean, I have one, but I've just never been a Dutch oven person, not because they don't work, they work fine, because it's deep. Of course, I use the Ninja Foodi, which is deep, but I don't know. I just always had trouble getting bread in there. and then getting it out. I don't know. It just always seems so cumbersome. I use the Ninja Combi for my bread and it works beautifully, but I make smaller loaves because it's just me and Jeff, right? So it works out beautifully. I just made some tonight for some soup, and it's actually not even bread dough technically. I mean, it's because I'm going away. I took my jar of sourdough starter discard that's been in the refrigerator, and it was probably a good cup or two. And I just mixed it with some flour and stuff. And I made stromboli with it. I made these today for lunch. I wrapped, the beef sausages you get that you would grill and stuff. Well, I decided to do something different with them. And I cut them in half. I cut them in pieces about this big. And then I cut them in half and they're fully cooked already. So then I wrapped them in this bread and I boiled them in baking soda water to make pretzel, kind of a pretzel thing. And then put them in the air fryer and they were delicious. They were really good, but it needs a spicy sausage because I also served it with a new recipe that's coming out. I don't know when it's coming out because I haven't filmed it yet, but it's an apple beer cheese dip. It is so good. It is so, so good. And if you didn't want beer, you could use apple juice, but it is so, so good. It's got some really interesting like spices in it. And it's just, oh my gosh, it's so good. So we use that to dip this little pretzel dog in, really. It's a pretzel sausage. And then I made a loaf of bread with it today, and I'm going to make pizza with it tomorrow. Erin says, do I have a recipe for my bread? Well, I don't ever use a recipe when I'm just making bread, and I'm trying to sort of incorporate that into my recipes that I do put out. Like I've got a recipe for Italian bread. I've got a recipe for crusty French roll. I've got a plain old homemade bread that's in the Ninja Foodi that's from years and years and years ago. I'm embarrassed by the picture. It looks terrible. It's more of a sandwich bread. It's very much a beginner's bread. It's very, very low hydration, meaning that it's easy to work with, but it doesn't give you those beautiful, airy interior. It's denser, it still works. And people make it and people love it. And it is the way to learn to make bread if you don't know how to make bread. Because if you start making high hydration bread right off the bat, you're going to give up in a second because it's just so sticky and it's so hard to work with. So then, so Erin, I would look, if you're a beginner, I'm seeing that now, I'm a beginner. You could try my homemade bread recipe. It's on my website. I make it in the Ninja Foodi. There's tons of ways to make it, right? I mean, you can bake it in the oven. You can bake it in whatever you want. But try that out. See how it goes. In fact, as a beginner, it's probably better not to bake it in the Ninja Foodi right away because the Ninja Foodi doesn't allow the air circulation to go around the bread as well as your oven would or the Ninja Combi does or just a different style of appliance. So although that is designed for the Ninja Foodi and it does work, if you want a more of a browning, I would use your oven. But it's an easy recipe. And I am sorry, again, I'm going to apologize. My nose is itching so, so horribly right now. All right, Colleen. Yeah, I hope to see you. If not, I'll catch you when I get back from my trip. And Colleen says your sweet potato rolls are yummy. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've got sweet potato rolls, which are my hair's sticking up in the back. I've got sweet potato rolls, which are kind of like they're kind of like the Hawaiian rolls. Oh, you know what? I've tested Hawaiian rolls. I never got that recipe out for some reason. Erin, not the flip. If you're talking about the flip oven, it's not going to have enough clearance for bread. But if you're talking about the XL oven, absolutely you can make it. And if you ever have any questions about timing, temperatures, or anything like that, you can always email me, louise@thesaltedpepper.com. Now, look, I'm not very good at getting back to people that quickly, so make sure you email me a good week before you need my help, because it's not that I'm not good at it. If you saw the amount of people that come into my inbox, like I know I've got a message from Colleen I need to answer. I've got a message from Kat I need to answer, and there's probably some other people. But if you saw the amount of spam that comes into my inbox, it is just unbelievable. So, but I will get back to you. So definitely. All right, Lisa, bye-bye. See you later. I'm going to be closing it out too in just a minute. All right. Oops, wrong one. I'm sorry my dogs are getting a little bit, they do this all the time. This is why I don't like doing lives when at home, and they don't do it so much in Corinth. In Corinth, I can just let them out the backyard, but I can't just let them out here because we don't have a fence. Which I do let them out here even without a fence, but I want to be around them. Anyway, I probably am allergic to my computer. Okay, I'm going to actually be getting off here myself because stop it. Now stop it. Now sit. Pineapple. You're embarrassing your mother. Okay. We're live. This is what happens. Okay, George said, oops, I took it off. Any new recipes coming out for Halloween? Any new pumpkin recipes? Yes, but I haven't even tested it, so I don't know. But I want to make a pumpkin pie shortbread cookie. That's what I want to do. So I was going to start testing it this week, but now we're going out of town. So I'm going to start testing it next week. So it'll be a shortcake cookie with pumpkin pie in the center. I think they're going to be delicious. So if it works out, I will have a new pumpkin recipe out. I did put an apple. Excuse me. I'm going to mute myself for a minute. And we're back. Okay. I just said they were being ridiculously rude. And it's like they understand. Whew. They're calm now. And there's my beautiful little kitty cat. Okay, where was I? I know I'm saying goodbye to people, or I'm about to say goodbye, but oh no, you know what's funny? Crystal, the dog is not named Pineapple. So I say pineapple because we had a dog trainer once say, pick a word, any word. And Gus is a jumper, right? And anytime, now I didn't hit him, but anytime, and what hit is a strong word. Let me back up. He told me, smack his nose and say pineapple, right? Well, I don't ever smack his nose. I mean, I could. I'm not against it, a little nose smack, but I just have to hold up my hand and say pineapple. And he's like, oh. So it's conditioning, right? So his name's not Pineapple. His name is Gus. But when he's acting like a fool, I say pineapple. Oh my God, George, that was akin to my wife talking to me, but in mute mode. Oh my gosh, yes. Well, it was like me talking to kids, I guess. I don't have any children, but just, they're misbehaving. They need to calm down. I was talking about the pumpkin shortbread cookies. Excuse me. How embarrassing. Anyway, oh, Jane, I'm so sorry. I know full well how hard that is. I have done that. And yes, the quiet can be deafening. Yes, I'm so sorry for your loss. Truly, truly I am. Okay, yeah, my kids, my naughty kids. Okay. Oh, Crystal says when I said, excuse me, her little dog looked over at the phone like, Mommy, what's going on? Yeah, you have a good dog, Crystal. I have bad dogs. Stop. Okay. What are they doing to me tonight? Okay. Anyway, crazy. So the pumpkin pie cookies, I do not know how they're going to work out. It's just an idea in my head. And I want it truly to be a pumpkin pie experience, right? Like the shortbread being sort of like the crust of the pumpkin pie, but in cookie form that are easy to make and that you can make for a crowd, right? Or just for yourself, right? Because I find making whole pies, they're delicious, but you get 8 slices out of them. So if you're going to a gathering and you have, 20 people, how many pies do you have to make? I just like finger foods a lot, whether they're desserts or regular. I love finger foods. So it's just a big thing of me. So I'm going to try those. And I think now that the dogs have calmed down, I'm starting to feel the exhaustion from my sub below zero weather today, which was not, according to Jeff, it was 56 degrees and I'm nuts, but I was so cold. Literally had a ski coat on and another coat underneath, and I had 2 pairs of pants on, and I did go out in my slippers though. I had slippers and socks on. Not, I should have had big boots on or something. But anyway, it's hard to drive. I don't think lawnmowers, riding tractors are supposed to be like operated in this with all this get up on, because I couldn't even see. Like I couldn't even hardly like turn around to see and everything. It's crazy. But anyway, I am done. And thank you everybody in the chat for just giving Jane our condolences, because truly that is just horrible. When you have to put an animal down, it's so sad, especially when they're close, like family, like mine are, without having kids. Like these are my children. So it is very difficult. Okay. I think we're good. We didn't get a lot of questions. I hope I didn't miss any. That's a possibility too. And I hope you learned something or just had fun hanging out with me. I always have fun hanging out with you guys. I think it's the best. And just love it. It's great. So we might not get a lot of things. We're not doing a whole lot of questions on some Tuesdays. We do on Q&A. It's like one question after another. And then sometimes it's just, what it was tonight. But either way, I have fun. So hope you guys do too. And remember, I will not be here for Tasty Tuesday next Tuesday. I'll be in Mexico. I will try to do a live, I think, to just kind of say hi to everybody. Maybe I'll just do it on Tuesday night. Can I do that? That's our last night there, isn't it? Yeah, I think we leave Wednesday. So maybe I'll plan that. So maybe I will plan that. Would you want that on Tuesday instead of Tasty Tuesday? Would you want to come along, like wherever we go to dinner that night or something? So yeah, let me know, I guess, if that's something you're even interested in, because I don't want to do it if you're not interested in it. But if you do, I mean, I'm good with that. So let me know. I don't know how you're going to let me know, but I don't know how you're going to let me know, because I'm about to hang up the phone, say goodnight. But I guess you could message me, or you could, I don't know, leave a thing somewhere and say, yeah, go live. Anyway, George won't go live. He doesn't have the equipment, he says. George won't even come on. He says he doesn't have the right equipment. Do you mean the dog, or do you mean George Kemp? Oh my gosh, how funny. Oh, Lori, you're making the goulash, the Southwestern goulash. That's awesome. I'm still on trying to make a traditional Hungarian goulash, which is a stew, totally different from a macaroni dish. But anyway, Barbara, I will tell Jeff you said hi. And Barbara Evelyn, I saw you in the chat, and I didn't say hi to you, so hi. And Joan, okay, cool. George doesn't have a camera. Okay, I know. You get a pass. We tried on New Year's Eve. All right. So yes, go live. Okay. All right. Look, that's all it takes. Just one person, 1 or 2 people say, yeah, go live. Sure. We will. All right. So we'll plan that on Tuesday. And I'll try to do it at the same time, but maybe I don't know. Let me see what the weather's like and all that stuff. And then I'll go ahead and schedule it and everything. All right, guys. Terry, happy anniversary in June, or last June, 54 years. Jeff and I are just 16 years. So we're babies in the marriage department. All right, Joni. Sounds good. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you. Well, if you tune in next Tuesday, when I don't know, I'll try to do it around 7ish my time here, which would be 8 o'clock or 6 o'clock there. I don't know. Let me work out all the details. But yeah, I hope, thanks, Crystal. I hope we do have an amazing trip. I'm sure we will. And I will talk to you guys soon. Sunday, I will be having a recipe go out. I will be doing the YouTube premiere. So that's 10 a.m. US Central Time. It's a 12-minute premiere. I think I'll be there. I think I'll be in it, as far as, in the chat. But if I can't be, it's like family over there too, right? When I do the premieres, Craig is in there. There's a bunch of people in there. They all know each other. So if for some reason I can't connect because of internet or something, the premiere is still going on. You can catch up with everybody over there. That's always fun. And then I'll see you when I get back. Okay. Bye. I can't end it. It won't.